As the butler here, my daily job is watering the flowers, petting the cat, then waking up the youngest miss. As the household help, I walked over to third Miss's bed. "Miss, if you don't get up now, I'm pulling the covers off." She even gave a cold snort. Then she provoked me. "Go ahead, try it." The second she finished talking, her blanket vanished. My eyes lit up instantly and third Miss turned bright red. "Close your eyes. Don't look." Ever since then, she's been telling everyone I ruined her innocence. And now she wants me to take responsibility. Then the eldest and second Miss rushed over too. "How about you wake me up tomorrow instead?" I was completely confused. Wasn't I hired to be the butler? But every single one of them wanted me to be their husband. 3 days earlier, my mom said, "Son, why don't you come work for me?" "Yeah, it's just a servant job." I actually laughed out loud. "I'm a double master's in finance and law, and you want me to be a servant? I wouldn't do that job for free. How much does it pay?" "A little over 20 grand a month." "I'm in. Following in my mother's footsteps is only right." And just like that, I became a servant in a rich household. At that moment, I was standing on the villa balcony. I glanced at the luxurious decor behind me, then looked out at the endless lawn outside. And I couldn't help thinking of that fortune teller from when I was a kid. "Young man, you've got the bones of someone born for wealth. One day you'll be riding in luxury cars and eating gourmet food. And living in a top-tier mansion, too." Turns out that fortune teller wasn't lying. Come with me to see Madam in a bit. And be sharp. Don't just stand there like a post. Being a servant doesn't sound glamorous, but plenty of people would kill to get in here. "Kid, you should be thanking your lucky stars." I patted my chest and said, "Don't worry, Mom, I'll work hard. I won't let the organization down." I quickly changed into the uniform. And by uniform, I mean a perfectly tailored suit. Mrs. Sue looked at me with a proud smile on her face. "Ziz, that's my son. You look good in anything." She wasn't wrong. My features are sharp. My face is well built. At a glance, I honestly kind of look like Leon Lai. And at 6 feet tall, I could wear a burlap sack and still look decent. "Suma, what's my job after this?" Suma is what everyone respectfully calls Ms. Sue. She's worked for the Gu family for over 20 years. Her status is basically chief housekeeper. She manages dozens of staff. She shot me a look. "Use my title when we're working." "All right, enough with the smart mouth. Look at our faces." "Anyone can tell you're my son." I followed my mom to meet Madam. "Ma'am, this is my son, Lu Chenzhou. It's his first day today." Su Wanking had just returned from overseas. Her jet lag still hadn't worn off. She was yawning as she came downstairs for breakfast. I immediately put on the perfect smile I'd practiced. In a deep, magnetic voice, I said, "Good morning, madam." The moment Su Wanking looked up, she saw a bright, handsome young guy, and he was greeting her politely. It instantly lifted her mood that morning. She looked me over with interest. "Lu Chenzhou, it's been years. You've really changed. You look great now." She still remembered I'd visited twice as a kid. Back then, I had a buzz cut, tanned skin, and thick black glasses. I looked like a total bookworm. Who would have thought I'd grow up this handsome? "Thank you for the compliment, madam. I just didn't want to embarrass you, so I cleaned myself up before coming." "As for you, madam, after all these years, you're still as graceful as ever." That made Su Wanking laugh. She turned to my mom and said, "You raised this boy well." Sweet talker. Unlike my girls, all they do is give me a headache. My mom had watched all 3 Gu daughters grow up. She smiled and replied, "Your daughters are the full package." Unlike this brat of mine, graduated and still loafing around at home. Can't even find a job. Su Wanking listened while eating. She was about to reach for a napkin, but before her hand even moved, I had already placed the tissue box by her side. This kid really knows how to read the room. A hint of approval flashed through Su Wanking's eyes. She set down her utensils. "Suma, you said this kid's a bum?" "To me, he knows exactly what he's doing. If there's any work around the house, assign him to it. I like this kid. Let him come out with me this afternoon." "Yes, madam." My mom was shocked and thrilled. Madam is usually extremely strict with the staff. So why was she acting like this today? This kid had somehow won her over. In the end, Ms. Sue gave me 2 easy jobs. One was helping the gardener, taking care of the flowers, plants, and the big lawn outside. The other was looking after the family's 2 dogs, one Alaskan Malamute and one Doberman. I've always loved dogs. I couldn't believe my dream came true on day 1. I got to raise my 2 dream dogs. I immediately pulled out my phone and aimed it at the dog bowls, snapped a bunch of pics and sent them to the boys' group chat. I bragged, "Boys, guess how much this bowl costs?" Then I dropped the answer. 14 grand. Worth more than your lives. I was wearing my uniform in the picture, and half my face slipped into the shot by accident. After a brief silence, the group chat exploded. "Holy crap! Bro, you really went and became a servant? No way, I thought you were joking. Breaking news. Top student with a master's degree ends up as a servant. Bro, my next video's traffic is depending on you now. Wait, weren't you doing borderline thirst trap streaming? Can you all knock it off? Son, if you really can't make it out there, come work for me. 10 grand a month, easy. My family can absolutely afford that." That last message was from Lin Sakong. His family really does own mines. Rare earth mines at that. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. It's not nearly as tragic as you guys are making it sound. I gave them a simple rundown of my situation. The group chat fell into dead silence again. "Wait, how much did you say per month? 20 grand plus benefits? And all you do is walk the dogs? Okay, I admit it. I may have spoken a little too loudly just now. Can I ask if the Gu family is still hiring?" One of the guys wailed. "Bro, I've never begged you for anything. This time I'm begging you. Can you quit already?" We agreed we'd all stay washed together. How did you secretly make it out before the rest of us? Watching the guys in the group lose their minds, I petted the dog's fluffy head and smiled in satisfaction. Now that felt good. Then Suma's voice came over. "Lu Chenzhou, get ready. Madam is heading out." I immediately put my phone away. "Got it! Can't forget my afternoon assignment." "Can you drive?" The Gu family's 2 drivers both happened to be out today, and Su Wanking was too lazy to drive herself. So the second we got to the garage, she asked me. I glanced at that 2-tone Bentley. then quickly nodded. Yeah, I can. Even though I got my license and never bought a car, back when I studied finance, I drove my classmates' luxury cars all the time. Once she got in the back seat, she closed her eyes and said, "Take me to Platinum Center." The moment I heard the address, I knew stop number 1 was shopping. 40 minutes later, I smoothly pulled the car into the garage. When Su Wanking got out, she smiled in surprise. "You're a pretty good driver." She'd assumed a guy my age would drive like a maniac. Instead, the whole ride was smooth, not one moment of discomfort. I answered modestly, "Thank you, madam." Looking at this handsome young guy standing there so respectfully, Su Wanking drifted for a moment. Such a waste he didn't become a male model. The second we walked into the store, the manager was already waiting for us. He greeted us warmly. "Mrs. Gu, welcome." Then he grabbed his walkie. "Mrs. Gu is here, pause outside customers." The manager led us further inside. "Mrs. Gu, right this way. The latest arrivals are being brought over now. Your afternoon tea is ready as well." The whole time, Su Wanking sat quietly on the VIP lounge sofa. As new pieces were brought in one after another, all she had to do was frown slightly, and they immediately got the hint and switched to the next one. Meanwhile, I stood there like a bodyguard, hands folded behind her. Su Wanking smiled when she saw that. "What are you doing standing there like a lamppost? There's tea and dessert, go help yourself. If you see something you like, say so. I'll count it as a welcome gift." The way Su Wanking treated me felt more like an elder. I grinned and stopped being so stiff. While she was off trying on clothes, I shamelessly started sampling the desserts. I tried them for a while and still couldn't figure out what was so special. So I snapped a photo and posted it. Honestly, it tasted pretty average. Pretty soon, my notifications lit up. Well. Listen to you saying average. Even your tone changed after entering a rich family. So you're eating the good stuff now? Save me some. Then came a barrage of messages from Ms. Su. "I sent you there to serve madam. Why are you the one eating? Do your job properly, don't start any nonsense. You think you went there on vacation?" My smile froze. Crap. I forgot to block my mom from that post. A voice suddenly interrupted my train of thought. "Mrs. Gu. Mrs. Gu, out of the outfits you just tried on except for that coat. We've packed everything else and we'll send it to your home." Su Wanking came back after trying on clothes. The manager followed right behind, reporting every detail. She gave a faint response. For some reason, Su Wanking didn't look too happy. Then she suddenly said, "Lu Chenzhou, let's go. Drive to Jinhao Club, I'm going to play mahjong." What was going on? Wasn't everything fine a second ago? I could tell something had happened. So I immediately texted my mom for intel. "Mom, what's going on?" "Madam's going to play mahjong." Why does she look so upset? Sure enough, Ms. Su had already guessed most of it. That woman Liang Shuiman is probably in today's mahjong group. "Son, stay sharp. That woman and madam are sworn enemies. Don't screw this up." I texted back instantly. "Got it." Su Wanking, meanwhile, looked puzzled. She pressed me. "No, what exactly did you get?" Why do I suddenly have a bad feeling about this? We drove to Jinhao Club. It was a high-end private club, and before we even reached the room, we could already hear voices inside.